Hello, this is Lacquerography, and this is my wish list for this season's Lacquer Drop. Lacquer Drop is a seasonal Canadian indie polish collab that's available exclusively through nailstuff.ca. Each participating brand has created a gorgeous nail polish that is their take on the stunning northern fall. This is the second time this collaboration offering has been offered, the first time being in the beginning of June. It was their inaugural launch. This time, this is their fall seasonal launch, and it's available from noon Eastern Daylight Time on September 1st until noon Eastern Daylight Time on September 7th. I only have one item on my wish list this month, but that's actually incredibly deceptive, because the one item that I have on my wish list is actually the Northern Fall Bundle, which is actually the full polish collection bundle that's available this month. It does cost $104 Canadian, which is a little bit of a price break compared with purchasing each one of the 7 polishes individually. So let's dive right in and take a look at this one item, the Northern Fall Bundle, that I have on my wish list this month for Lacquer Drop. So this is it. This is the one item on my wish list, but it costs $104 because it is actually the full collection for Lacquer Drop's Northern Fall. There are 7 individual items included in this offering. And as you can see from this small thumbnail shot here on the webpage on nailstuff.ca, the colors being offered by the makers here are varied, and they really truly do evoke a northern fall that we experience here in Canada. What I'll do from here is I'll jump into each item's individual listing so you can take a closer look at all 7 items that are included in this offering this month. The first item up is by Lac Nail Lacquer, and this one is called 'Cause Sunshine. All of the polishes being made available through Lacquer Drop are pre-orders, and all polishes are expected to ship by early October. There is at this point no availability cap for 'Cause Sunshine. 'Cause Sunshine is the Northern Fall Lacquer Drop shade by Lac. This is a gold base with gold shimmer, OGUP, silver shimmer, gold magnetic shimmer, gold reflective glitter, and silver hollow reflective glitter. From Awesome Nail Polish, this shade was inspired by a sunset seen by Violet at English Bay, Vancouver in September. While holding a cup of hot chocolate, the sun broke through the clouds, leaving behind a moment she'll never forget. There really is something about the optimism, the sunshine, the glow that I'm seeing from this polish. I think the description offered by Awesome Nail Polish is so just poetic, and I can almost visualize, although I really can't even fathom the beauty of what Violet saw. Violet, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is actually the maker of Awesome Nail Polish, or Lac. There is something, though, that's really stirred up deep within me when I hear those words offered by Awesome Nail Polish. It's the glow, it's the sparkle, it's the warmth, it's the opulence of this polish. Although I can only imagine the sight that Violet saw on that day, this does still evoke all kinds of fall imagery for me. This kind of a golden yellow really does mimic a lot of the yellows we see in the changing foliage around my area and what happens when the sun hits it. This truly is a special color, and I very much look forward to receiving this one when my order comes in later in October. This beautiful golden reflective magnetic polish is by Lac, 'Cause Sunshine. This next polish up is by Bedford & Grove, and this one is called Fallen Leaves. For this pre-order polish, there is a cap on this one of only 75 bottles. What that means is that this maker, Bedford & Grove, has a limit to the number of polishes that they can sell this month. And in this case, for Bedford & Grove, it's 75 bottles of this polish. After that, it's considered sold out. Fallen Leaves is the Northern Fall Lacquer Drop shade by Bedford & Grove. The burnt orange base has a copper shimmer, slight linear holographic glow, and violet multichrome flakes. From Bedford & Grove, Fallen Leaves is inspired by the beautiful golden orange brown leaves of Canadian fall. I also chose the name because of the Billy Talent song, Canadian Millennials, Where You At? And I love that song too. Billy Talent is kind of a national treasure. They're fantastic. If you haven't heard that song, Fallen Leaves, check it out. Orange is one of my favorite colors in life, and this one is quite a unique take on it. There's that really reddish warmth to this one, and I am loving the addition of those purple, I guess, multi-chrome flakes. You can really see the cool effect that those flakes bring to this already interesting fall color. I truly have nothing like this one in my collection, and it does very much resemble to me those bright burnt orange leaves that you'll see on the ground. And there's some sort of a fragility within that, as it doesn't take too long for those leaves to turn from those brilliant, perfect colors into kind of a crispy, crunchy, or perhaps even mushy brown. There's something about this. I mean, I realize it's purple flakes, but for me, it really evokes that idea of these fallen leaves and just how fleeting those moments are every fall. I find this such a warm and inviting color. And of course, I really can't say enough about the uniqueness of this polish as it stands among others in my collection. This fun burnt orange nail polish is by Bedford & Grove, Fallen Leaves. This next one up is by Clionadh Cosmetics, and this one is called Equinox Wanderer. For this pre-order polish, there is an availability cap for this one with a cap of only 115 bottles being made available. Equinox Wanderer is the Northern Fall Lacquer Drop shade by Clionadh Cosmetics. This polish has a smoky gray base with pink, red, orange, yellow chartreuse shifting iridescent flakes and blue reflective micro glitter. From Clionadh Cosmetics, inspired by long walks on a cool autumn evening. The breeze is crisp with the scent of blazing bonfires as the changing leaves rustle below a star-studded night sky. Again, such beautiful, poetic imagery. There really is something here about like burning embers that I'm seeing amongst the flakes for this polish. It really has kind of a radiance to it, a smolder. It's beautiful. And there's so many fall elements that I can see reflected in here, much like how there's a lot happening in the maker's description for this polish as well. I'm also really intrigued by the fact that this reflective aspect within the polish is a blue reflective pigment. So interesting. You can see that pick up here in this swatch photo. I think that in natural sunlight or even in shifting light, this could really have a unique effect. There really is a lot happening here with this polish, but somehow it comes together so cohesively. It's beautiful. I find there's a decadence to this one as well. A lot of fall colors and fall elements seem to be coming together at once here. I find that this is one too where somehow this one looks incredibly flattering on a variety of skin tones. I always love that when a polish can look good in every single swatch photo, and this one is one of those to me. It's got a richness, it's got a fire, it has a sparkle. It really is a magnificent fall polish. This flaky and reflective polish is by Clionadh Cosmetics, Equinox Wanderer. This next polish up is by Grackle Lacquer, and this one is called On the Double Double. This pre-order polish has a cap of only 150 bottles being made available. On the Double Double is the Northern Fall Lacquer Drop shade by Grackle Lacquer. This stunning shade is a warm brown multi-chrome filled with shimmer. And from Grackle Lacquer, inspired by cinnamon spiced coffee, a staple for the cooler autumn weather. For any of you who aren't Canadian, one of our major coffee chains that runs throughout our country is Tim Hortons Coffee. There are locations in many other places throughout the world as well, but it really is truly a Canadian staple, it seems. No matter where you are, there's always a Tim Hortons coffee shop somewhere nearby. When people think of Tim Hortons coffee, one of the things that invariably comes to mind is the Double Double, which is basically a coffee with double cream and double sugar. It's just one of those things that so many Canadians just kind of automatically just say when they're completely tired and need their morning coffee, and they go up to the Tim Hortons drive-thru or to the counter and ask for their Double Double. So I enjoy this polish for so many reasons. I think that's so cheeky, the double double aspect. But also, I'm loving that this maker, Grackle Lacquer, went for a brown this month. I love my brown polishes, and I find that browns in so many ways are kind of misunderstood, underloved, and I think because of that, I'm extra drawn to them. This brown has a really lovely shimmer running through it. I'm also drawn to this rather like mid-range brown. It's neither too black leaning, like too dark, nor is it too light. It really is a lovely middling brown. And I just find that in different lighting, this brilliant shimmer really does help this polish come alive in a way that really only indie polishes can. There's something about neutral leaning polishes, and yes, this one is quite a dark neutral, being a deeper, richer brown. But there is something about these neutral polishes where I've been pulling them just season after season, month after month, constantly in my collection. In fact, more than a lot of my bolder colors. There's just something about my lifestyle right now where neutral colors, browns, beiges, pinks, they're just really fitting with my lifestyle right now. It's almost like no matter what turn each day takes, my nails will always look respectful and put together if I have some sort of a neutral leaning color on my nails. And this one, I think, is an outstanding brown. This fantastic brown is by Grackle Lacquer on the Double Double. This next polish up is by Inspired Scents Polish, and this one is called Fall Skies. There is no availability cap for this one, so this maker can create as many of these polishes as are needed to fulfill all orders this month. Fall Skies is the Northern Fall Lacquer Drop shade by Inspired Scents. This stunning polish is a chameleon blue with a purple shift with micro holographic glitter. Now, welcome to Lacquer Drop Inspired Scents. They weren't involved in the inaugural Lacquer Drop, and I am so excited that Inspired Scents, a brand from my home province of Ontario, Canada, has joined on to Lacquer Drop this season. And not only that, this blue is so fresh and refreshing and elegant. It really is striking compared to so many oranges and golds and browns, colors that mimic fall leaves in my area. This bright blue is every bit as fall as any of those colors, but it is really refreshing. It's really quite the only color like this being offered this month. There does tend to be something so moody and spectacular about fall skies. There's something about just the chill in the air, shifting temperatures. It gets darker earlier, quite a bit earlier. And this polish really mimics that special time of year with its brilliance as well as with its sparkle. Something else that I love about this polish too is I'm a teacher, and there's something about these blues that is quintessentially fall to me, especially when I think of blue skies, as we mentioned already, but also denim blues. For whatever reason, these denim blues, whether it's sparkly, whether it's shimmery, whether there's glitter involved, it almost doesn't matter to me. It tends to mimic for me all those gorgeous back-to-school denims that you see on people as almost a uniform these days. For me, denim in September, I wear denim year-round, but for me, denim in September really do go hand in hand. And I'm loving this color, and I'm loving this polish by Inspired Scents for all of these reasons. I love the fact that the maker has included the inspiration photo here as well. These photographs are really quite magical, and they do help to evoke that kind of mood that the maker is going for. This beautiful blue is by Inspired Scents Polish, Fall Skies. This next one up is by Paint It Pretty Polish, and this one is called Hello Autumn. For this polish, there is a cap of only 100 bottles of this being made available this month. Hello Autumn is the Northern Fall Lacquer Drop shade by Paint It Pretty Polish. This stunning polish is a magnetic shifting through all the fall-like shades. From Paint It Pretty Polish, I'm thinking cozy autumn, the gorgeous fall leaves, pumpkin patches, Halloween, and I'm so excited to bring you a magnetic polish inspired by Navigating Niagara. And I'm thinking that that's their Instagram handle. at Navigating Niagara. Beautiful fall photo along Beamer Conservation. These magnetic polishes this month, for me, bring to mind a lot of that sunshine streaming through changing leaves at this time of year in my part of Canada. This polish is beautiful in all ways, but there is something for me about this polish worn in the cat eye style, which I think I'm seeing here on the swatcher's middle finger, or the second finger from the top in this swatch photo. There's something about that beam effect that brings to mind a beam of sunlight. Now, I am assuming here too that this polish may be represented in the velvet style, perhaps on this swatcher's middle and ring fingers. The two middle fingers that I'm seeing here appear to perhaps be either unmagnetized or velvetized. But either way, I think this polish is pretty special. There's something about the range of color that Paint It Pretty polish can produce within a single polish that never fails to blow my mind. In this swatch photo here, I'm seeing a really warm orange, I'm seeing the golds, I'm seeing kind of a chartreuse, and I'm seeing a deep forest green. It really is a wide spectrum offering here by Paint It Pretty polish. And the fact that this one is also a magnetic, along with being quite shimmery, I think this one would just come alive in real life. This beautiful fall magnetic polish is by Paint It Pretty Polish. Hello, Autumn. This final polish offering this month is by Prairie Crocus Polish, and this one is called Maple Leaf. This one has a very small availability cap this month, with only 45 bottles being made available. Maple Leaf is the Northern Fall Lacquer Drop shade from Prairie Crocus Polish. This shade is a beautiful reddish-orange metallic with bronze shimmer from Prairie Crocus Polish. Reminds me of the dancing leaves cascading to the ground. This shade makes me want to grab a pumpkin spice latte and head to the park. This is another offering that has that reddish-orange lean to it. I find that both this polish this month as well as the Bedford and Grove have that type of hue happening here this month. I do find that this one, perhaps to my eye anyway, appears to me in the swatch photos as being maybe a little bit more red leaning rather than orangey. To my eye anyway, it seems like Prairie Crocus Polish's offering of Maple Leaf seems to be a little bit more red leaning than perhaps the Bedford and Grove polish, which I think has more of a true orange, but still a reddish orange look to it. I can see that metallic aspect to this one, whereas the Bedford and Grove polish has the addition of those purple multichrome flakes running through it. This one is more a true reddish orange. There's a brightness and a warmth to this polish. I think it's really quite flattering as well. And I do love that this polish is inspired by the maple leaf, because of course we've got the maple leaf featured so prominently on the Canadian flag. I'm not sure, but I would think that quite a few Canadians do view the maple leaf as a truly special and unique symbol for our country. I know that anytime I travel outside of Canada, I tend to wear a little maple leaf pendant around my neck. So for me, the maple leaf is an incredibly special symbol that I find to be a really beautiful one representing Canada. And I also feel that way about this polish. I think that this maple leaf nail polish as well would be one that would bring me so much joy for both its symbolism and for its color. This gorgeous warm red that reminds me of the bright, brilliant reds that we see from sugar maples is by Prairie Crocus Polish Maple Leaf. Before filming this, I did actually place my order for the Northern Fall bundle. So I do have the full 7 polish collection headed my way for $104 Canadian. At the time of filming here on the evening of Tuesday, September 2nd, the shop is already open and there still are some of the full Northern Fall bundles available at this point. What this bundle includes is all 7 polishes that I already showed, 1 bottle of each. This is a one-time release. It does say also that quantities are limited. Some of these makers do have incredibly small availability caps They are small makers. In some cases, it is just one person creating these polishes and running the business. So there is no guarantee that when these sell out, that more will be made available. It is possible that a sellout just means that it's sold out for good. Now, I should also mention that this season, for really the first time, there are non-nail polish items being made available. Prairie Crocus Polish also is releasing 3 different cuticle oil products that are being made available for this shop. We've got one in amaretto, we have one in butterscotch, and we have one in unscented. Clicking into the butterscotch cuticle oil listing, it does say that there's no availability cap for this one. So I do assume that there is quite a bit of product available from Prairie Crocus Polish in terms of their cuticle oil offerings this month. Unfortunately, at this point, I actually do have quite a few cuticle oils on the go, and I do worry for me that buying cuticle oil at this point may be a little bit wasteful. It is possible. I mean, these do have also a shelf life. Any kind of moisturizer or oil can be perishable. It does tend to last quite a while. However, I do have quite a bit at this point, and so purchasing more cuticle oil is not really in the cards for me. Although these scents really do sound delightful, and I haven't tried Prairie Crocus Polish's cuticle oil at this point. Lacquer Drop is open now, and it remains open until noon Eastern Standard Time, or actually Eastern Daylight Time is what we're experiencing now, on September 7th, 2025. Pre-orders are expected to ship by early October, so that's actually not a bad turnaround time. About a month, which I think is reasonably typical to a lot of the other pre-order collaborations on offer. For more information, you can take a look at nailstuff.ca for information or to make your purchase. And there's also a Facebook group available, the Lacquer Drop Lounge, and you can get sneak peeks and you can chat with some of the makers and other polish fans about Lacquer Drop. So I'm wondering, are you planning on shopping Lacquer Drop this season? If you are, which offerings are catching your eye? These are all incredible Canadian makers, and I'd love to know your thoughts. I've had the great pleasure of trying out polishes from all of these makers at this point, and I'm so pleased with the products that they release. If you have any experiences to share about any of these makers and their products, please feel free to leave your comments down below, and we can continue on the conversation long after. If you enjoy wishlisting and window shopping content like this, please consider giving this video a like. It indicates to me that I'm doing a good job and that you're interested in content like this. And moving forward, in the months ahead, I'll try my best to release content similar to this as often as I can. As well, if you enjoy nail-related content in general, please consider subscribing. I release nail-related content as often as I can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. I am also a Canadian myself, and I am hoping to release more Canadian-based content on my channel. If you have any thoughts about the kind of Canadian content, whether it's nail polish reviews, whether it's wish listing, whether it's trends, or anything else you can think of, please feel free to leave all your ideas in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts. As a Canadian, I feel strongly about celebrating Canadian makers and Canadian products, so I'd love to know what you'd like to see. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy fall. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.